In 2000, we bought an abandoned 100-acre farm in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. We spent years cleaning it up, built a new house, and now are trying to make it a functional homestead farm. Welcome to Red Tool House.
Well, hello everyone. It is baby chick season again, and we are on our way to the post office to pick up another batch of chickens. We'll see you at the post office. I can hear them. Hello, I'm going to pick up the chicks.
You're here to get the little birdies?
Yes. They're not as noisy this morning. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. They're cute.
Excuse us.
Have a good day.
Thanks, you too.
Hey, how are you? Hobbling along like wrestlers.
Let's not do the unboxing now.
Okay.
We are excited to get some chicks on the farm. These are black Australorp. We're looking to replace some of our older hens that have gotten old and a little long in the tooth, a little long in the beak, I guess it would be. So we've got 25 black Australorp that we just received today in the mail. Everything went well, 100%, 25 healthy ones. Nobody was DOA in the box. So what is our standard procedure when we get new chicks? Well, most hatcheries are at least 2 days ship for us. So we're obviously a little worried about dehydration, hunger, cold, all that type of stuff. So first thing I do is set up a heat light. And of course a small tray of water. You can see this is just a real shallow water. I don't want the chicks to have to deal with a big water or something clumsy where they can fall in. They're very gangly right now. They don't have their sea legs. They've been in transit for 2 days. So just a little bit of water. It's literally just ankle deep to a chick right now, but it allows them to get in, get a drink, not drown, and just kind of check that out. So we're just using the bottom of a standard feeder there. And of course have feed available for them so they can start checking that out. They're still living off the umbilical elements, of course, the part of the egg sac that from where they were hatched. They're still living off of that, but they'll start looking for feed here probably in the next couple hours. But of course the heat light, you can read different things where people take heat light and say, okay, you got to have 96 degrees directly at the surface of the ground where the chicks are, and then each day you can drop by a degree or a half a degree. And that's all true. To me, that's a little bit more analytical than you really need to be. What I do, we're just using this tub for a brooder. What I do is I make sure that my light is on one end of it and set the light down to a height that I think is appropriate. And if the chicks, they're smart enough to get away from the heat if it's too hot, and of course get close if it's too cold. So these just came out of the box, so they're kind of all jammed underneath the light right now. I don't want to take it any lower, but I think I'm at the right height, and I actually start working up here in a couple hours. But what you look for is kind of a donut. We say look for the chick donut. So what they'll do, if it's super hot in the dead center of it, then they'll start moving out. So you'll actually start to have this ring of chicks around the center focal point of that light. And they'll self-regulate. But what you want to do to keep from getting them too hot and killing them, burning them up, is you've got other spots in the brooder for them to go. So if they get too hot, they can come over here and get away from the light. If they get too cold, they can go back. So that's one of the easy steps to do there. So why did we choose black Australorp chicks? Well, the reason why is we've got a whole difference. We've got a variety of breeds in our egg-laying flock. Going on about 90 to 100 chickens. But our Australorps are getting old, so they're not laying as well. But I call them my security team. They are, as we've talked about in previous videos, they are really handy to have when deterring hawks. Because they're solid black when they get feathers, of course. Hawks mistake them for crows and won't mess with them. And I've never had a chicken loss from a hawk ever since I've got black Australorp. And another plus is right now they still hold the world record for the most egg laying. So they're one of the most prolific egg layers. And so good egg production, big brown eggs, being black deters the hawks. And yeah, they're just pretty good chickens, so that's why we like them. When we have chicks that have been shipped to us, the first thing we want to do is introduce them to water. So we usually dip their beaks in the water a little bit just so they know where it is, what it is, that type of thing. And chicks are kind of funny. They'll watch what one does and they'll go do. So they kind of mimic one another. So once one starts drinking, then everybody else starts coming along and drinking. So here we've been out of the box for maybe 20 minutes now. And already the chicks are rotating back and forth from the heat light to the water, even going over and maybe testing the food a little bit, see if it's something they want to mess with. But definitely getting that hydration they need. One thing you can do, if you notice that the chickens are very lethargic, if they're not moving very well, they're kind of flopping around, laying low, it's a good recommendation to take water, and you can put a little Pedialyte in there. You can put that in the water, and that'll help reintroduce electrolytes and get them going and give them the boost they need, just in case shipping's been a little hard on them.
Well, okay, so fast forward about a week, and I've been so impressed with Duncan's Poultry as far as their customer service, their pricing, the fact they offer free shipping. I was digging all that kind of stuff. I decided to go ahead and let my chicken cup runneth over. So just today, the day that I'm recording this, we received another 103 chicks. We got Cornish cross. Obviously, those are the birds that we'll raise for meat production, and it'll be for some of our own personal consumption and some for our customers. But you're really excited about getting those in. They all came in today. Great shape, all 103 of them viable, but the brooder I had is a little crowded there, so you can see that we got them kind of shoulder to shoulder there, so we got to clear it out. So what the boys and I did last week in preparation for our broilers coming in is we converted this section of our barn into a larger brooder. So we lined it with plastic. I've got my brooder walls up here. Even have a piece of conduit across to hold the heat lights. But we've got a little bit of a dilemma right now, and that dilemma is it is the first week of April and we're having unseasonably cold temperatures. So it's supposed to get down the low 20s, and my barn's not heated. So we're going to do a little test before I put these chicks in this brooder and kill them all because it's too cold. I'm going to do a test with thermometer, setting it up. I'm going to see what we can do to get this brooder a little bit more insulated and at least get the wind from coming through here. So we'll see what we can do. Okay, so what I've decided to do is obviously choke down the brooder. I don't need a brooder as big. This is about a 10 by 8. I'm just going to choke this down to about a 4 by 8. We use that insulated foam as a cover, as a lid to the brooder. So we'll just see how that goes. Again, hopefully we won't burn down everything. Well, what we have, if I just put my temperature sensor, I've got a little indoor-outdoor thermometer here, and so I've got a temperature sensor laying right underneath this heat light. So here's a little sensor probe, and just laying there. We're standing out in the barn right now. Exterior, it's about 45 degrees, and we got a ton of wind. So with that temperature probe there, I'm getting 71 so far, and it's still climbing. So with these chicks, I really want to be about 95 to get them warm enough. Since we're outside, now again, before in the past I've said just get your heat light somewhere, let them self-regulate, but we really want to make sure we can get close to temperature there. But you can see here, so I'm going to lower the light, but you can see here, using these little clip lights, a little clamp on that's death on a stick. I might as well go ahead and light the barn on fire and walk away from it, because that will eventually work itself loose. So I never trust those. These heat lights, again, as much as I hate using them, these heat lights have this little wire yoke here that you can hold, and of course you can use the circle of the spring. You can use any of those type of things to clamp it down or to suspend it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to get my height measurement there, and I'm just going to use some wire. It's one thing about having tons of electric fence, you always have extra wire around, and I'm going to wire this thing up so it suspends a little lower, and then I'm going to double wire it so I have that fail-safe there. So what I'm going to do is just take this, I want to go a little bit lower, and I think I'm going to go about right there. So I'm going to put a good old twist on this. Bend that down so I don't poke myself with it.
Like I said, I don't trust those. So I'm not even going to trust the one wire. I'm going to put 2 wires on there because that's how anal I am. I do not want to burn my barn down. You look at this. Here's something that puts out, this is I think a 250 watt or 120 watt, I don't remember what it is. I think it's 250 watt light bulb. So if that would fall down in that pine shavings, it's all over. It wouldn't take much to burn the barn down, and that would definitely do it. So we got that a little bit lower, got our temperature probe there, 89. So we're getting there. So again, using the same principle I used up at the small brooder, I'm not going to have the lights completely encompassing this area of the brooder. If the chick would actually get too hot, if my thermometer's not right, or tomorrow it decides to be 70 degrees instead of 30 degrees, then they can get away. They can come over into these corners and cool off a little bit. But I'm going to lower this one as well and secure it. These light bulbs that I'm using, I should have known that they'd be effective. They were called El Diablo. So they're actually putting out, the height that I had them, I was getting about 115 degrees. And I thought that's a little too hot. So we lifted them up a little bit. Now again, that's the probe directly under the light in the dead center of its beam of intensity. So as you move out a little bit, temperature will drop. So raising that up now, I'm down to about 109. So I'm going to just keep an eye on this and see how it does. And I haven't put the lid on yet, because that's the thing we're thinking about right now is, do we need to put this insulation piece on there as a lid, like so? That's right, Kidding, stay where you are. So do we do it like that? Well, we've got kind of a makeshift lid that keeps all that heat in. Now again, I don't want to come down here and have cooked chicken. So we'll have to just keep an eye on that. I'm going to keep that probe in there and just see what our ambient temperature gets up to. We may not need that. Obviously with the wind we've been having and the fact that this end of the barn is still open, I'd have to put a little weight on this to keep it from blowing around. So if you're looking for chicks for the homestead and you want to skip going to Tractor Supply or some of the other box stores, the feed stores, and buying those chicks, you want a mail order, then set some criteria for what you're looking for in a hatchery. The thing that I look for, of course, is their website. Obviously, is their website easy to navigate? Is it clear as to what you're ordering, details you're ordering, when you're going to receive them, what's available, all that type of stuff. So I think that's really important. But really, when you think about hatcheries are kind of all the same. They're all producing the same product, same species, same details like that. So it really comes down to customer service, knowledge of the product and service, and of course, price. Be a fool to not admit that price is king when you're looking at all these type of things. So in my exploration of trying to find a hatchery that I'd like to use, I've used various ones in the past, but in looking around, I found Duncan's Poultry. I got to communicating with the owner, Wade, and we worked out a deal there. That's why I have those Australorp chicks. He sent me those Australorps, and he sponsored our channel for this video. So in talking with Wade, he sent me these Australorp chicks that we started with, and I was really impressed. They showed up on time. They showed up when they said they were going to, packaged properly, all healthy, took off great, no problems there. I liked it so much that I went ahead and ordered, outside our sponsorship deal, I went ahead and ordered another 100 chicks. That's why I ordered the Cornish cross. So I got 103 viable chicks, and that's what we're putting in the brooder here. So I've been really happy. So that's 2 orders now that I've received from Duncan's Poultry, and been very happy with the results so far. But the thing that jumps out to me, and this may sound like a sales pitch, but this is really important, is if you just look at Duncan's Poultry's website and compare it to some of the other hatcheries, I think you'll be amazed at the price. His price is substantially less than some of the larger hatcheries, and he offers free shipping, which is a big deal because I've had shipping on Cornish cross get up to about $130 before. So you can save a lot of money in that situation just with the free shipping. But the fact that he's much cheaper per bird is awesome. And he offers the same thing, the vaccinations, the coccidiosis vaccinations if you want. So he offers the same things the big boys offer.
And in working out this partnership, he offered for anyone watching this video, if you use a coupon code of RTH, then you get an additional 5% off your order. So if you would go to duncanspoultry.com, check it out. Not only are you going to get cheaper price on the chicks, you're going to get the free shipping, but if you use RTH offer code at the end of checkout, you're going to get additional 5% off. So if you're looking to get chicks this spring, I really suggest, and again, not just because he sponsored the channel, but I really suggest you look at that. That's why it convinced me to go ahead and buy the 100 Cornish cross, because his prices hands down were better than everybody else's, and he delivers a quality product. Well, our temperature's holding really well. So I got the 2 heat lights set up, and just as I expected, obviously these lights have a very focused beam of intensity. So right under that beam in the dead center, I'm getting a little over 100 degrees, which is a little bit more than I need, but again, those chicks can regulate, they can work themselves out from that beam. When you get all the way to the extremities though, even with the lid on, my ambient temperature is about 60 degrees. So it's a little bit cooler than I'd want it to be. But I think since there's 2 heat lights, we've got 100 chicks, the circle that they can make around those, I think they'll be fine initially. So we'll just have to see. The temperature right now is in the mid 40s. It's supposed to get down in the 30s and even in the 20s later this week. So I'm just gonna have to keep an eye on it and keep my fingers crossed that I didn't just kill my chicks. Do you have to slurp your water while I'm recording? Oh, for crying out loud. That's why they call them pigs. So we're going to get the chicks moved into here and check them out to make sure that's going to work out for them. And we'll do a test drive tonight. So hopefully I don't come back and do an update this video and say it's Jonestown here and we've got dead chicks everywhere.
Yeah.
It looks like everybody's doing good this morning. My voice makes them scatter. I know this really isn't showing up well on the camera, but an ambient temperature of 65 degrees or 69 degrees.